agenda, which is basically old and new business. This is the time for citizen comments. These next items are not public hearings, so this would be the time if you wish to make a comment for us to hear on, pick up an agenda, the proposals for the Bayfront Center, the visual arts masterpiece paintings, service issues for properties not in the city, discussion of marine contractor equipment on empty lots, and a discussion of the city clerk's retirement. If you want to comment on any of those, now is the time to do that. Please come to the podium, state your name, and limit your comments to 3 minutes. So please.
Good morning. Ray Rose, and I'm speaking for the Punta Gorda Isle Civic Association in regard to contractors' equipment on vacant lots. I would urge you to use extreme caution with that proposal to allow theirs or other city contractors or general contractors or government vehicles to park in the lots overnight. Current system works very, very well in general. And if you were to go ahead, we'd start having vehicles. It violates the placard signs on vehicles. It opens up a whole nest. We have several government vehicles that are routinely parked in the aisles overnight, and they're parked in compliance with the current regulations in a driveway. Conceivably, those vehicles could be free to park in the lots. The one thing that you might want to consider is that specialized heavy equipment that requires extensive effort to place, maybe a temporary permit for that equipment to be parked in the areas. That's my only comment.
Thank you, Ray. Once again, folks, these are not public hearings that we're going to talk about, so if you want to make a comment for or against or whatever your opinion is, now would be the time. If not, yes, sir.
Yes, my name is Danny McCoy. I'm a board director with the Charlotte Harbor Community Sailing Center. Being an individual who's in a chair and realizing that the access to the waterfront here in Punta Gorda is very slim, I urge the City Council to consider the view and the opportunity that they have to make the decision to give the Charlotte Harbor Community Sailing Center an opportunity to run sailing and waterfront activities out of the Bayfront Center. This opportunity allows for access. There's presently no waterfront activity being voiced or being used by the YMCA. The opportunity for the City Council to make this decision allows for individuals that are youth, senior, disabled, mentally challenged to have access to the water through the floating docks and whatever that's been already being positioned with the dredging and all the rest of that activity. And it'd be really great to have this building used for the purpose that it's there for, and that is to have waterfront activities. I think it behooves the City Council to look upon this area as a unique situation, because there's nothing else along the waterfront that has the opportunity for us to access to take citizens here sailing. So I really encourage the City Council to make use of this waterfront and put it in favor of the community, the Charlotte Harbor Community Building Center.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else wish to speak?
My name is Katie Dickerson. I live on Grace Street. And I have real concerns about the wise use of this building. Looking at their website last night and seeing what the building was used for, on the website it's only listed under a rental program. You can have a wedding there, and it lists the different features of the building. And then it says, sailing birthday parties. Treat your guests to a sail. Enjoy indoor activities with games, music, time for cake and presents. And have fun outdoors sailing with Charlotte Harbor Community Sailing Center. Seriously? We're going to take kids who haven't taken a swim test? I mean, is this their idea of how this facility should be used? I just think that the Sailing Center has offered so much to this community in bringing the Disabled International Sailing event here. That brought a lot of money into this community. I don't see where any classes are being offered here at the Bayfront Center. So I took the day off from work to be here to speak to this. This is how much it means to me.
Thank you, Katie. Yes, sir.
Roger Struby, member of the board of Charlotte Harbor Regatta. I was in charge of the committee that built those docks, as you all know. I respect the YMCA. They're an asset to the community. They're a partner with Charlotte Harbor Regatta because the wise men actually perform a service for us in hosting dinners that we have. It's not a vicious or mean organization. The problem with their management of that facility is that half their population is fish. The city has spent considerable funds, and volunteers in the city have spent considerable time putting together a program that includes these floating docks that move towards a greater vision. That greater vision is really a community sailing center at that site. Status quo is very easy. You can go on with that for years. It's hard to change. And I would encourage this committee to change, to vote that community sailing center in as the manager for that property.
Thank you, Roger. Anybody else wish to speak?
Good morning. My name is Winnie Schumacher. I'm the CEO for the Charlotte County YMCA. I've heard a lot of issues over the past months concerning the operations of the Bayfront facility. No one has directly come to me to address any of these issues or concerns that they have. We have met with Mr. Peck for probably the past year on putting a sailing program together. Meetings were canceled. Different issues always seem to pop up. So when this term came to redo the negotiations for a new lease, we would put in a sailing program. And that would mean a quality sailing program. Not saying that the program that's running there now is not a quality program, but it takes more than just one person to run this. This is a facility that is offering to kids in the city of Punta Gorda. Approximately 100 to 250 kids in camp are served out of that building. Scholarships are given to these children that cannot afford the opportunities. Scholarships that I don't know these children would be able to use the facility if not given. We have 11 community rentals are already booked through 2013. We have 12 special community and business events were booked in 2012. We have 5 free community events that were given to the community at no charge. This included the child care associations and different programs like that to people that probably would be having to spend quite a bit of money to rent the facility, but because they were partners, that's the direction we went. We have partnerships with the Senior Network for free community health classes. We have over 360 health and wellness classes that were offered this past year to the community. We have been in contact with Moat Marine, who is going to be doing a partnership with us for education for water and environmental programming for children. We have partnered, hopefully, with the Boaters Alliance and different community partners that will bring quality services to the building. And please understand that for the past year, we have worked with the present people that are in the building that we're renting the building for the sailing, and we got nowhere. So as an association, we wish to bring quality programming to all the community.
Thank you, Winnie.
Thank you.
Anyone else wish to comment?
Dennis Peck, president of the Charlotte Harbor Community Sailing Center. Hadn't planned to say too much other than do a presentation if we had the opportunity, but didn't want to get on any attack situation. But yes, we have talked with the YMCA. There's reasons that the discussions have not proceeded farther than they have, and I don't believe it's to the benefit of the YMCA for me to expose those reasons. I'd be glad to expose them if it's necessary. There was a situation that we'll bring up, since it's been kind of brought up, about our training room, on our lease with the YMCA to have access to the facility, to have a training room, and this was being denied to us, and we went to the city council. They agreed to have a meeting with us and Mr. Koenig, and we had that meeting with Mr. Koenig, and at that meeting the statement was made to us that you could have use of that room if you were part of us. Since you're not part of us, you don't have use of that room. And that training room is a fireside room, which is remain locked. Talking about educational programs and physical programs, I don't believe you'll find all those programs that the Y has done at that building. There is also a training room. The reason one of the doors was put on and locked was it was to be a training facility for the youth exercise program. They got a grant for that. We are there. We know what the room is used for, and it's what it's not used for. We won't bring that up at this particular time, in particulars on that. But the sailing center, in its proposal, has stated that it will have access for the YMCA as a proprietary use when they need it for their programs, their child care programs, when schools are closed and they're not in there. Can come back to the YMCA and be used. We have not eliminated them from the use that they have to use. We have suggested and recommend, which we will do, is put the funds that come in, any excess funds, and funds that are needed, back into the Bayfront Center, not to go other places in the county, to support the waterfront activity, access for everybody to the water. I believe that the Sailing Center has the community at heart. We started this program back in 2000, worked for the community program. I believe that it's in the best interest of the community, the waterfront development for the Sailing Center, and as we have discussed in our proposal, become a boating center, canoes, kayaks, paddle boards, small boats for training, safety, water safety, education of the youth, the old, access for the disabled, for the able-bodied. We want them to be together. It's a integrated, accessible program. We have planned, as you'll notice, many other activities to use the Bayfront Center. We are anticipating a longer reach program than 2 years down the road to bring in other programs that needed to be for the Bayfront Center, that only water access can be done. Many of the programs that the Y does can be done at any other building in the city. And the training center, the access to the water, is a necessity to have a quality program. And trying to keep from refraining a little bit from the comment of one person to run it. I have a board. I started out with a board. I've always had a board. We've expanded our board. It's not one person running the center. We have a full organization. And my time has run out. I could go on, but thank you.
Thank you, Deb. Anyone else? Yes, sir.
One more comment. My name is Frank Sperry. I'm here in Punta Gorda. It appears to me that the Sailing Center lease would enhance Punta Gorda's vision, if you will, and projection of a vision of a waterfront community. I see marketing advantages to that, not only in the sailing and boating and waterfront arena, but in the medical arena, by providing access to those with disabilities. I know we're taking advantage of all that, I did hear many of the good things the Y is doing in that facility. And it comes to mind that it is a facility. And many of the things the Y is doing is not really related to waterfront. They're good things. No denying that. I expect that if Y were to lose the lease to that facility on the waterfront, that there would probably emerge some other facility in some other location undertaking many of the good programs that they're doing, scholarships, education, types of things. That's something to think about. Being there in a facility on the waterfront doesn't necessarily mean that that kind of a facility has to be on the waterfront. It's nice that it is. That's my comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Fred. Anyone else?
Hi, I'm Ron Ludwig. I'm the education officer for the Peace River Sail Power Squadron. I just wanted to remind everybody in the room that there's more than just two tenants in the Bayfront Center right now. The Power Squadron uses an education room and storeroom on the west side of the building, and I haven't heard anybody discussing what's going to happen to our facility when a new lease manager is selected. So I just wanted to remind everybody, we do not want to go away. We've been there since before Charlie, and we really do appreciate the use of that building. Thank you.
Any other comments?
My name is Robert Hill. I am a certified sailing instructor. My basic goal in this is I deal with our youth sailors. I guess the best way to explain what I would like to talk to you about is if you look at the WISE programs and you looked at our programs, if you rented a piece of property on 41 in a strip mall, I would have a hard time being able to take my youth sailors over there, put boats out on asphalt, raise sails, and continue a program. However, the Y can take all of their assets to a strip mall and rent a piece of property within that strip mall and continue their programs without any problem. That building is uniquely made for an organization like ours. And I'm sorry, I have our kids in mind. Just last Saturday, what this organization has done is we brought in a family just because of phone calls from Canada that was down here visiting, and they wanted a place to sail. There were 4 boats that came in from that area, and they sailed with us on Saturday. This is something that is ongoing. This is not something that can be built in a day. This is something that has been there for 24 years, has been going on for 24 years, both by Dennis Peck, going on for 24 years, both by Dennis Peck, by the organizations that have come about, and by Charlotte Harbor Community Sailing Center. I spent 4 years myself trying to grow this organization as a part of their board, to take us out of the Bayfront Center would be a travesty for our kids, for our disabled sailors, for anybody that is coming down. We do have them in our proposal. I know it's not being mentioned as much as it should, but our main goal, my main goal, is my youth sailors. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Good morning. My name is Stephen Vito. I am a volunteer with the Y. I've been doing that. Been serving on the board in virtually every capacity over the past 8 years. I'm a local business person, and I love this place. I do believe that the harbor is probably the biggest resource that we have, and I don't necessarily believe that it's been utilized to its full potential. I think a lot of us kind of feel the same way. We're all working on different plans to make that happen. But just a couple comments here about the YMCA. Right? This Y has been serving this community for over 25 years. Over 20,000 children have been through our programs in the last 25 years, to some degree. We have an organization that is built around partnerships. That's what we do. We bring people together for the greater good, for our community, for our children. We're much more than a fitness facility. We do that too. But we also do things like, over the last year, over $200,000 worth of scholarships went back into our community from the work that we do. I'm not going to tell you that the Y is an expert sailor. Dennis and I have met many times. Randy Dunn, who was the previous CEO, and Dennis had met. We want to bring together a partnership program that will bring the type of program that we think Charlotte County deserves. But it's more than just a program. You have to have an organization that has the resources and the knowledge of how to deal with hundreds, maybe even thousands one day, but hundreds for sure, children a year into programs. The instructors, the people that come in contact with those children, the national resources that the Y has is immense. I don't think anybody would say that what the Y does is bad. I don't think anybody would say that. But what I will tell you is that all of the programs that have been built through the years, there's about 50 Ys nationally that have a major sailing program. I came from DC. We had one in Annapolis that was unbelievable. And I do believe that that can happen here. But what I want to make sure that everybody understands is that you're looking at what the Y is proposing is to increase the level of service that it already provides, and do that with an organization that has audited financials, that has a long-term board of directors that are invested in the community, that have a business management sense, and we understand the risks associated with dealing with services to children, services to the community, and again, we're looking to build partnerships with everyone. That's what we do. That's what we do well. So I encourage you to seriously consider that in your deliberations. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephen. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, my name is Leslie Valeska. I am a board member for the Charlotte Harbor Community Sailing Center. I'm also a mother of a sailor. The reason I got involved on the board was because my son wanted to learn to sail. There was no place else that my family could afford to have my son come and sail. We have 3 children that have come to the Community Sailing Center in our family alone to come and sail. The program is excellent. They work with whatever it is your needs are with your children. I've seen them work with people that would clearly be turned away from any ordinary program working with youth. I find it illogical to say that because an organization is huge and has all of these resources available to them and experience available to them, that a small organization that's already established there cannot do the same. If that was true, how many small organizations and boating centers alone would not be functioning? I also find it hard to understand when I'm looking at it and saying, my kids are not going to be sailing anymore. They will not be enjoying Punta Gorda. I spend money in Punta Gorda because I'm down here with my children sailing, and there are lots of families that do. Another unique asset that the Charlotte Sailing Center has is that I'm also a homeschooler. I've graduated too, I'm still educating too. The only place that would accommodate homeschoolers for a sailing program was the Charlotte Harbor Community Sailing Center. It's hard enough to find resources as a homeschooler. When someone opens their door to everyone, it's great. They are fully integrated. They'll bring in anyone. Again, I think all of the programs that the Y has are good. We've utilized the Y in Northport. It's fantastic. They don't need a waterfront building. Being on the board and working with the Sailing Center for the last 2 years, I have to say I've noticed that it's very constricted partnership with the Y. And that's made it difficult for us to continue to expand our program in the way that we had wanted to 18 months ago. And I think those things need to be looked at. And in our proposal, we definitely put forth that we are looking at mental health, wellness. We're talking about bringing groups of seniors down to sailing that would not ordinarily get out on the waterfront in Punta Gorda. We're talking about wellness, but all that's waterfront activity. And I guess my point is that the Y can do all those other programs anywhere. It's not going to harm the Y to put those programs in another facility. However, all of our boats, and to be able to get the boats on the water, and all of the equipment that goes with the boats, if we have to move those, there will be no more Charlotte Harbor Community Sailing Center, because there will be no way for us to transport those with youth. Thank you.
Anyone else? If not, we'll move into.
I'm Tom Ray, and I'm just here because I'm a boater and a sailor, and I help out Dennis and Coach Bob with the kids' sailing camps, and I just love to see kids learn how to sail and see that light come on when they feel the boat move under sail. And this is a place that people can do it. It's the place that people can do it here. And, you know, I appreciate that the YMCA does a lot of good things, but I haven't ever seen them use the boat ramp once. And their plan is, oh, well, maybe we'll set up something that needs the boat ramp someday. Well, we're using the boat ramp every week. And so that's why I'm here to support Dennis and the Charlotte Harbor Community Sailing Center. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Yes.
Yes, Danny McCoy. I'd just like to, with the Charlotte Harbor Boating Center, I'd just like to make one last comment. In regards to the business of running the center, I think that the Y has said that we would like to have partnerships. Of course, we would also endear them to ourselves and in a partnership way. If they had a program that they wanted to have some of their youth go out on the water, of course we'll assist them and they could be one of our partners. Same with the Boating Alliance and anybody else who's involved in the boating industry. We are absolutely wanting to be partners. We will allow them to be part of our organization. I think on the other hand too, it's been said that the Y has been down there, they've run all these programs, but that's very canned speech. I've been around to many of the Y programs. I helped start the Y program in Lake George, New York. And they come up with the same thing. Yes, we have thousands of kids. Yes, we have done this. Yes, we have done that. I think it's very important that the City Council here take a homegrown opportunity and allow this opportunity to grow from its infancy to what we can provide. The Y has demonstrated, yes, they have scholarships. Yes, they do this. But we also have those things, maybe in a smaller way. But yes, we offer the same opportunities for disabled youth, such as myself. We don't charge them anything if they want to go on the water for a ride and to enjoy the ambiance of going sailing. But in respect to the business of the Y, they say, oh yes, we have book programs, we have weddings, we have... Yes, we at the Sailing Center, we know all that because this is a revenue stream for them to rent out their building. They take the money and nothing's reinvested into that building. Nothing. We proposed in our statement that we would anything that comes in, we would reinvest. Anyway, thank you so much. I realize I'm a little over time.
Thank you. If anyone else wants to speak, we're starting to repeat the same thing over and over again. So if you don't have something new to say, I think we've probably gotten the message, but you're welcome to say it. And
Hi, Katie Dickerson again. And Howard, are you a voting member of the council? Okay, that's all I wanted. The other thing I wanted to say is that I believe in the Y. I believe in their program and in their mission. And I have served on the board of a YMCA in Dorchester County, Maryland. I'm not against the Y. I'm just wondering.
thank you. Anyone else or would?
Mayor, can I just? Sarahbeth Fangoria, Voters Alliance President. Dennis, I've known you for over 20 years. We've sailed together, sailed harbor many times. I've seen all the work and heartache and tears and fighting that you've done for the Community Sailing Center, and I appreciate that. You've been at it 14 years. This is an opportunity for the Y, the Community Sailing Center, the Voters Alliance, for us all to take this special piece of property and really make it grow into something huge that will benefit disabled, mentally challenged seniors. You guys have the knowledge, they have the building. Why can't we all make this work together? So we have a lot of outcry here. I'm hearing some misinformation. The IFDS did not come here from the Community Sailing Center. Dennis Peck was a major player in that. However, it did come here from the Charlotte Harbor Regatta. We brought that here, okay? So there has been some misinformation out there. Thank you for your time. You both have received the bids. Thank you.
Well, from the accent, you'll say I'm not. Isabelle Lucier. So I'm not from here. However, I come here for the past 4 years. I've come here 3 times a year with our sailboat now that we bought in the area. And we came here the first time because of a member of the sailing center. And it's because of the sailing center that we first heard of Punta Gorda. I've never heard of Punta Gorda before. But we come here, we come back every year because this place is a fabulous place. Punta Gorda is amazing. And I'm just very impressed by this sailing center, and especially by the people of the sailing center. But I'm impressed by how proud all of these people are of that center, and I just wonder why we would maybe want to let go of something that is Punta Gorda born, a small center that is community. The community is proud of, and why destroy something, especially in these days, and replace it with nothing? I mean, I know the YMCA is wonderful, but why replace it with a big entity when small businesses should be helped and thrive? Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Last call. We'll move into unfinished business, and the first item is the proposals for Bayfront Center. I don't know if we need an introduction. I think we're all pretty well up to speed with that. Let me just make one comment. Our decision here is who is to choose who is best suited to manage the facility. It has nothing to do with moving people out of it. It's about who can manage the facility. And I don't think that whoever we choose necessarily means one thing or the other is going to happen, or anything's going to happen. Maybe it'll just stay status quo. So it seems to be a lot of panic here over who's going to manage it. The YMCA has been managing it for years. So with that, I'll questions, comments. Yeah.
I'll begin. One of the things that we did early this year is to develop a strategic plan. Our council members, our staff, our residents worked very hard to develop the plan and a mission statement. And the beginning of our mission statement is to enhance Punta Gorda's identity as a vibrant waterfront community. And I think that in and of itself says that we should be doing more in terms of pushing and working for our waterfront. I have to agree with those that are promoting the sailing center, because I do believe that this would give us an opportunity to really see how we could develop and use a resource that the city has to really push forward the whole idea of sailing, using our waterfront, using it for more boating activities. In terms of management, I would think that, again, we would want the center to work again and invite the YMCA to participate. I think they would want to, again, continue to involve the Power Squadron, the Voters Alliance, all of our voting groups to participate and become partners. I know one of the things that I really liked about the WISE proposal is their checking and assessment of the individuals that are working with their children. And I would hope that they would be able to provide that kind of expertise to the sailing center to make sure that, again, those individuals that are working with our children, again, are secured in their identity and secure in terms of the kinds of interaction that they would have with their children.
I just have to say, I agree with the mayor that I think the Y is better suited for management of the entire facility. They have stated in an email, I think it was from Winnie, that they will hire a part-time sailing manager. They are going to be including sailing activities. I wish everybody could work together on this. It's terrible, this us versus them scenario, because both groups are great and are strong and are willing and able to do whatever they want. I just think at this time the Y should maintain the management of the building.
Anybody else? Go ahead, Tom.
I took the opportunity to investigate the Englewood Sailing School and its relationship with the YMCA. And what I learned was that the YMCA has a partnership with a local 501c3 sailing school. And as they move through that partnership, the Y has the responsibility of handling their registration. They take care of all the liability insurance for the sailing school. And in turn for that, the Y gets to advertise that they have sailing facilities for the children who use, and adults that use the program. I would like to see more of a detailed plan on what the Y really proposes to do in terms of what kind of boats, storage of boats, and that kind of. I'd like to hear a much more detailed plan from each of the organizations to see what they really have in mind and how to use that facility. And as well as Councilman Kuzang, I'm kind of disappointed that we couldn't work together in a partnership and have one common proposal from both groups.
Well, again, I think we're really talking about the management of the building and programs they could describe to us.
But again, the programs that we want or that we should have in terms of use of that building should focus on boating.
Why?
We have a waterfront. We have one facility that would really be able to encourage, support sailors, support our youth, support persons with disabilities. It would seem to me that we should focus in terms of our waterfront initiative. What else are we doing as a city to really promote that? And this is our building. We have an opportunity at this time to make a change, to invest in perhaps something new, something different. I'm not saying I've been part of the Y too in the past. I've done some of the programs there. But again, they can continue to use those programs, to do those programs there as well. But I think the main focus should be on a sailing program or on waterfront activities there.
Well, I think if we chose the Y, or whoever we chose, I think this is only the ranking. We're going to choose which one we're going to ask staff to negotiate with. If we all feel strongly that we'd like to see more waterfront activity, that could be part of the negotiation with whomever we choose, and say, you know what, we really want to have, I don't know, it could be a percentage, it could be whatever way you want to look at it, but we want to have much more waterfront involvement in your programs and secure it that way. But again, I think we're talking about ranking who we should talk to first and who's best suited to manage the facility. Other comments? Not that we motion.
Do we feel that we have enough information on each of the programs to make a decision at this point in time, or would we be better suited to hold off for a bit and propose that we get more detailed business plans from each of these groups before we make a determination, or is it something that we have to do today?
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, this is going to rank them and then you're going to negotiate. This is not a final decision, and then you will bring this back to us with whomever we decide. If the negotiation works, you'll bring us back the final contract, which we will then discuss and approve, or you'll tell us it didn't work out and you went to the other one.
Yeah, the lease doesn't expire until the end of March. All we're doing here is deciding who you feel is best able to manage the facility. We will then sit down with them with the priorities and come up with their whole business plan and program and bring that back to you for approval. If you don't like it, we go to the number 2 rent firm.
I think part of that too should be the opportunity for the Power Squadron group to stay pat if they're.
Well, we have no.
That was.
Yeah, we have no intention. We recommend that council make sure that there's no intention that the Power Squadron moves. That was never, ever thought of, that they would ever move.
Okay.
That's staff's recommendation.
So, we need a motion to do something, or I suppose we could table it, but I'd rather not do that.
I'll make the motion to accept the YMCA as the management for the Bayfront Center.
I think we're ranking them the first one.
Yes, number 1 that we should negotiate with for the management of the building.
A second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have anything else on the question? If not, all those in favor of having the YMCA ranked as the number 1 person, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries 4-1.
May I also then suggest that if, in terms of the negotiation, that the sailing center be a part of that, so that there is a lease or a rental agreement with the sailing center. And also with that negotiation, that some of those monies that the Y accrues in terms of profit for whatever activities go on, that that be part of what goes back into the center or comes back to the city in some way.
I guess they're worth discussions. I'm hesitant to that we should force whoever we choose to manage the building, force them to do different things. We should, I would agree that we should suggest and hopefully put together a partnership or whatever, but I don't know if it's right to award the contract and say, yeah, here's your contract, you run the building, we have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do this.
Well, we're saying that the Power Squadron is going to be maintained.
Well, I think we should suggest that too. I would assume that they would stay. I don't know, I'm just thinking, I don't know that, I would assume that
I mean, financially, I don't see how we would hold them to any of that, how we would know what the profits are, and if they are gonna start a new, some kind of program with paddle boards and boats and things like that, kayaks, they're gonna need the money to fund that. Maybe that could be the suggestion.
I just think if you look at the budget, which I've been able to do with YMCA, there really isn't a lot of profit there. They give a lot of scholarships. Besides the rent they pay, the utilities, the insurance, all of the stuff. I mean, there really isn't, I mean, if I'm wrong, if something's changed this year, there really wasn't any profit in that center. I'm just throwing that out there.
Well, we could ask our negotiator to look at their budget and see if you see something in there that would make sense for us to ask them to put something back in.
We will incorporate all this when we sit down with them. And we're going to bring back to you a very detailed programming. And you can decide on your own. If sailing is not a significant enough component, then you need to tell them that. And if they can't do it, then we move on to number 2.
Okay. Yes.
I do have something else to bring up. included in the proposal from the Y is in the future, after they get a sailing program established, to take a look at some capital improvements to the facility, such as, I think they talked at, washers and dryers and things of that nature, investing dollars that, I don't know how they would come up with the dollars, but whatever, to make some capital improvements to the facility, and I presume to open it up to voters in some fashion. Now, that hasn't been flushed out. The Harbor Walk plan, and I know it's years in the future, is to take a look at both the Boat Club and the Bayfront Center to try and construct a new facility sometime way out in the future. We're talking years from now, whenever we can get dollars. And we already know the Boat Club has a lease through a certain year. 21? Okay. So, as we sit down with the Y, because they're number one, do we even want to consider any capital improvements to the bayfront? And if we do, fine. If we don't, maybe we need to just make that statement now so we don't concentrate on it, and concentrate more on trying to develop the programs and put the issue to rest.
I agree. I've never thought too keenly on the idea of doing bathrooms and showers in that building. I think it's just going to attract it's going to have a risk of attracting a whole different group of people. I think visiting voters can use Fisherman's Village. It's there, it's easy, it's got docks, it's got everything in it. I just don't think we're going to turn that park into a public shower, because I think that's what we'll end up with, is all kinds of unintended consequences. So my take would be that we tell them not to pursue that any further.
I agree.
I agree, and I feel like we're competing with private enterprise by doing that. If we could get the bikes at the Bayfront Center, the Y could maybe administrate the bike program there. Somebody could hop on a bike and be at Fishville in 2 minutes.
Yep. It's actually a 5-minute walk from the boat basin to
one of the things that the Y did indicate is that they will be promoting and using their marketing techniques, to promote the activities of the Y and what's at the center. I have to say, I haven't seen any marketing from the Y with regards to their programs. So I'm not sure what they will be doing in terms of the programs in the future. So I'd like that to be also
It's a good idea.
included.
It's a real good idea.
Okay. Where do we stand on what I just talked about?
I think we got a lot of nodding heads saying that we don't want to pursue that bathroom idea.
Okay.
I'm correct, but I didn't see anybody thinking anything else. Okay. Any other discussion on the YMCA? How are we doing? What?
I gotta get the next presentation set up.
Okay, so you doing 5 minutes or something?
No, that's very quick.
Anybody need a break? Okay. The next